Magandang umaga, mahal kong mag-aaral. Ako ay nagagalak dahil nandito na naman tayo muli para sa isa na namang pagtatanghal o pag-aaral tungkol sa radicals. Alam nyo ba kung ano ang ating lesson sa ngayon? Yes, tama kayo. Ito ay tungkol sa division of radicals. At ito ay nahahati sa dalawa. Division of radicals with the same index, and the latter one is division of radicals with different indexes. So, handa na ba kayo? Okay, let's go! Okay, so katulad ng nasabi ko kanina, ang ating papag-aaralan ay tungkol sa radical expression, particularly on division of radicals. And of course, alam na natin kung ano ang mga ito, yung mga radicals na magkaparehas ang kanilang indexes, and likewise, kung paano natin i-divide ang radicals with different indexes. Siyempre, meron pa tayong karagdagan dyan. Mapapag-aralan din natin dito kung paano mag-rationalize in the denominator. At kung anong ibig sabihin yan, ay malalaman natin sa ating pagpapatuloy habang nadi-discuss natin ang division of radicals. Naintindihan ba, mga anak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so umpisahan natin ang ating lesson sa pamamagitan ng pag-divide ng radicals with the same indexes. So the rule for this, we have the quotient rule, and it states this way: if the nth root of A is divided by the nth root of B, then it is equivalent to the nth root of A over V. Then, kailan natin magagamit ang rule na ito? Ito ay magagamit kapag ang indexes ng dalawang radical na ating i-divide ay magkapareho. So, tandaan, hindi natin yan magagamit kapag hindi magkapareho yung ating index. Siyempre, alam nyo na siguro kung anong index na tinutukoy ko dyan, ha? Yung letter N na nakatak doon sa checkmark, doon sa loob ng pinaka-checkmark ng radical sign. That is our index. And kailangan magkapareho yan. Paliwanag, ha? So, dito na tayo sa example number 1. And we are going to simplify the square root of 24x cubed all over the square root of 2x. Since the numerator and denominator have the same indexes, so we can therefore use the quotient rule. And what is the quotient rule? Kapag parehas yung mga indexes natin, so we can write them as one radical. So that is 24, or the square root of 24x cubed divided by 2x. Then this time we can immediately divide our radicand because 24 is divisible by 2 and x squared is also divisible by x. So therefore the answer is 12, the square root of 12x squared. And then to get now the exact square root of 12x squared, so that will be, we're going to factor the highest perfect square factor of 12, and that is 4 times 3 times x squared. And that is equivalent to, if we're going to write it in exponential form, so that is equivalent to 2 raised to 2 times 3 times x squared. And then, it is equivalent to 2x, the square root of 3. Why? Because we can have, because of the another factor of a radicand, such that if the exponent and the radicand is equal to the index, then the answer is the base and the radicands. So therefore, kaya nakuha natin yung 2x na square root ng 2 raised to 2 at saka x raised to 2. So the final answer is 2x, the square root of 3. Liwanag?
Yes, sir.
So nasa example number 2 na tayo, and we are going to find the quotient of the third root of A divided by the fourth root of A. So napapansin natin dito, hindi magkaparehas yung index natin. The index in the numerator is 3 and in the index in the denominator is 4. So ibig sabihin, hindi natin muna magagamit yung quotient rule, na kung saan kapag magkaparehas yung index ay pwede na natin pag-isahin as one radicand. Okay, so paano ang gagawin natin dito sa klase ng problem na ganito na kung saan ay hindi sila magkaparehas yung index. Ang gagawin natin muna ay i-convert muna natin sa rational exponent form. So remember our lesson before, yung index natin siya ang magiging denominator and then yung numerator natin ay yung exponent ng ating radicand. At syempre kung wala tayong nakikitang exponent ng ating radicand, it is automatic na 1. Kaya nagiging a raised to 1/3 all over by a raised to 1/4. Automatic na 1 kasi yung mga exponent natin. And then after converting into irrational exponent form, we are going to follow the rule of a power that if they have the same base, we are going to subtract their exponent. Since 1/3 is greater than 1/4, so doon tayo sa taas magma-minus. So therefore, that is equivalent to a raised to 1/3 minus 1/4. And of course, in subtracting fractions with the similar denominator or not the same denominator, so we're going to get first their least common denominator. And the least common denominator of 3 and 4 is 12. And then after that, you're going to follow the rule in subtracting fractions. So that will be 4 minus 3 over 12. And 4 minus 3 is equivalent to 1 over 12. Since we have already simplified our exponent by subtracting them, and we have now a raised to 1 over 12, and then that's the time that we are going to rewrite again in the radical form. So remember, the denominator and the exponent is our index, and the numerator will be the exponent in our radicand. So therefore, the final answer is 12 root of a raised to 1, or simply 12 root of a. Did you get it, my dear student?
Yes, sir.
Let's proceed to example number 3. And the problem is we're going to simplify 1 over the square root of 2. Since we have a radical in the denominator, so the problem is not simplified in simplest form. Okay, how can we remove the radical in the denominator? So the process that we're going to use here is what we call rationalize the denominator. Now, paano magagawa yon? So kailangan natin alisin yung radical sa baba. So to do this, kailangan natin magkaroon ng perfect square doon sa baba. So, anong i-multiply natin doon sa square root of 2? Of course, square root of 2 din. Para pag i-multiply natin yon, magkakaroon tayo ng square root of 4. And then, kapag extract natin yung square root, the answer is 2. So, mawawala ng ating radical. Okay, so this is how it is being done. So, to eliminate or remove yung square root sa denominator, kagaya ng nasabi ko, kailangan natin i-rationalize. Paano? So, kailangan natin mag-multiply ng square root of 2 in both numerator and denominator. Since square root of 2 divided by square root of 2, it is equal to 1. And any number multiplied by 1, the value does not change. So, hindi magbabago yung original expression. So, kung i-multiply natin siya 1 times square root of 2, in the numerator, the answer is square root of 2. And in the denominator, square root of 2 times square root of 2, the answer is square root of 4. And then simplifying now the answer, getting now the square root of 4, the answer is 2. Since in the numerator, square root of 2 is not, it cannot be simplified any longer, so that is now the final answer. And for example number 4, the instruction is to simplify 5 all over square root of 2 plus square root of 6. Now, how can we simplify this type of problem? We noted that we have two terms in the denominator, and the first term contains a radical. So therefore, it is not yet simplified in simplest form. Okay, so to do this, we simply multiply the denominator and numerator for the conjugate of the denominator. And the conjugate of square root of 2 plus 6 is square root of 2 minus 6. So we are going to use this in multiplying both the denominator and the numerator. And then by distributive property, so that is 5 times the square root of 2 is square root of 10. And 5 once again multiplied by negative 6, so that is negative 30. And in the denominator, if we have the sum and difference, we simply multiply the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, so the answer is square root of 4. And then multiply also 6 times negative 6, so the answer is negative 36. Then simplifying our denominator, square root of 4 is 2, and then capital 36. So that is equivalent to square root of 10 minus 30 all over the square root of 4 is 2 minus 36. And then getting the difference in the denominator, so we have negative 34. So therefore, the final answer is square root of 10 minus 30 all over negative 34. Intindihan nyo ba mga anak kung paano mag-divide ng radical? Lalong-lalo na kung may square root sa denominator.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good job!
Dito na nagtatapos ang ating lesson for today, and this is Sir Absolon of Matalas channel. And always remember, we are making mathematics more easy. Bye-bye. See you again next time.